AM 970 WSTX.
We got a real treat for you here. All right. Yeah, you don't have to go to Australia to find out about the Boomerang. Okay, the Boomerang is here in the studio. All right, good thing. And there's a story behind it. But before we get into the story, I just want these young men to introduce themselves and tell us about a little bit about themselves. All right, gentlemen. The mic is yours. Pull it up close, man. It don't bite.
Right.
It don't bite.
My name is Khalid Salim.
My name is Zaid Salim.
And we are Boomerang Eats. We are 8th generation Virgin Islanders, proud of it. And we own a food delivery app. Just like just like DoorDash or Uber Eats.
All right.
But for the islands.
All right, fantastic. So, tell us a little bit of your St. Croix selves here, okay? Before we get into it.
I need to go first because he's got like a laundry list of things he's done here. Yes,
All right.
Born and raised, went to Complex, and was saying proud 1998. I was in class of Complex, best class that ever came out of Complex, and yeah, facts right here. Just grew up here, had a great childhood. Grew up in Princess, and once I left when I was 17 to go to the Army. I realized that I made a mistake. I was like, the States is not where it's at. And I missed it for so many years. I'd come back and visit, but I just moved back home after 24 years. And I'm so happy. I always said I always wanted my children to grow up here and just experience the life I lived. It's a great life, and I'd put up against anybody's childhood.
Okay, all right, good thing.
Gotcha. And mine, like I said, my name is Zaid Salim. Similar childhood, Carter Richards, Woodson Complex, that was my route, and as my brother would say, he thinks his class is the best class, but definitely love my class of 09 from Complex. Culture bearer, Moko Jumping instructor, we both played chess on the Olympic team for the Virgin Islands, and moved back home after the military. Had a really good start, went into credit card processing, then transferred over. My brother and I looked at each other like, let's start a business, and the byproduct was Boomerang Eats.
All right, folks. All right, there you got the skinny, the fatty, whatever you're looking for. There it is. Something to start with. But most important, hey, the sons of the soil. We want them to come back, but everything ain't about a government job. You know what I'm saying? It's entrepreneurship. So let's talk about Boomerang Eats a little bit here. But before we get into that, I want to talk about how this show even came about. There's this guy called Jared Evelyn. Somehow you might know him. He's a guy who could see better than everybody else, okay? Saved my life twice because I was blind. and I'm not being funny, I'm being serious in a funny way. In that context, right? So Jared, because of his special talents, is very, very much into his iPhone, because his iPhone is a part of how he sees and communicates and shops and does all kinds of stuff. And he always asks me for my car keys, but I ain't giving him that. Okay, got a license, I could drive and everything else, but he ain't getting my car keys. So he's in a situation where a lot of times when he needs something, somebody got to in some way bring it to him, whether it's post office or a vendor or whatever the case may be. So the name Boomerang Eats, we're talking about food, okay, coming to your door. So that's like a big thing for him. So he got online and was checking it out. And I say this for everybody who has a website or an app out there, all right? When you're in business, you want everybody to patronize your business. So that means that when you're on Facebook and you put that nice pretty poster on Facebook, that's a piece of paper that a person that's visually impaired, they can't understand it because it just says picture. When the app comes down, it just says picture, right? So for all of you who having your great events, please put the information about the event in text, because the technology is such that it will read it to the person that cannot see it, right? So anyhow, he tried out this app, and he said, wait, no, I don't understand this. This ain't working this way, that ain't working that way. They don't understand what our needs are. But you know what? Gerald is the kind of guy that didn't just sit back and complain and moan and groan. Okay, he went and scrabbled up these boys and talked to them and said, hey man, how you gotta do this and do that and do that because I want this to work. And you know, a little exaggeration along the way. No, he ain't gonna get picked up for assault yet. He got a cane there that sometimes I was wondering. I said, don't hit me. But yeah, and gentlemen, did I do a good enough job?
Yes, and I mean, I appreciate it because I think you had my friend Dinesh Prasad on. I know Dinesh my whole life, and he talked to him, and I love this about St. Croix where, you know, degrees of separation are very small. So Dinesh called me up, and I was mortified when I was like, wow, you get so stuck in your own echo chamber where you're building a business that you don't think past, oh, this is what we need, and you ignore the simple things where, the simple things as far as when I say communities should access it, and you get so stuck. And so it was like, wow, that is a no-brainer and something you just never thought about. It wasn't malicious in any way, but it was something that you love when it's brought to light.
Yeah.
Like, Gerard could have said nothing, and then we're not better for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so really appreciated him bring that to light. And we're a small business where budgeting, but we say, look, let's put this on the roadmap to get this done. Because fair is fair. Everybody needs to have access in this world. We live in this world together. No matter what, you need access. Everybody needs access to things.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Jared is a great evangelist, okay? Because he knows other people who have similar needs to his in that sense. And, you know, he will educate them. He's an educator. That's one of the things I like about him. He loves to show people how things work and how to make it work for you in terms of quality of life, which is what it was important. So now, you know, one of the things that happens with the phone and you call it social media and everything is that there's this little bubble like you talk about that everybody just think everybody else understands how it works, right? So you said like Uber Eats and so forth. I want you to break it down. How this thing now work? Okay, so I got a cell phone. Okay, and whether it is my grandchild, I ain't got none yet, or my nephew or whatever the case may be, got some of them, decide, well, okay, I go help you out. I see you is suffering. You know, you need this app and put it on there. Tell the people how this thing does, what it could do for them.
Yeah. All right. So, Boomerang Eats, guys, and I get excited when talking about it because it's like our child. You know, I mean, it started with an idea, then we pretty much drew out the framework of it. Then I remember the first order. So just to let you know, it's super easy. If you have a phone, either Android or iPhone, you can go on the Apple Store or on the Google Play Store, download it, type in, create an account, and just order. You'll pick the restaurants we want. We have about, I want to say, 12 restaurants currently, with another 8 we're just waiting to sign up and bring on. But you'll really enjoy it. And you know, the first time I used the product was I was in a meeting. And I'm like, all right, I need food. It was like I'm hungry, but I can't leave this meeting. And I ordered, and it's weird ordering from your own company sometimes, because you know the drivers get there and they're like, oh, hey, what's up, boss? So we ordered, and the food came, and I'm just there. I turned my camera off. I was just there eating, muted the screen, and I lost no time. And that was probably the biggest benefit to me. So, and I know to other people, there are a lot of benefits that come, especially with jobs that aren't able to leave at the lunchtime. Boomerang Eats is there to serve. Yeah.
All right, and folks, you know, just to put in my disclaimer here, you know, I got nothing but good things to say about these guys, but I got to put in my disclaimer. I ain't looking at you, okay? Well, I got lots of good things to say about these guys. So, you know, you could go online and check out their websites, boomerangeats.com, okay? But you drove home a great point. A lot of people work places where when they hit the road for lunchtime and they got that 1 hour and they get there and they got a 12-person long line and they're waiting just to get the food. By the time they get the food and get back at lunchtime, done.
Yeah, yes.
Okay? So anytime that they can cut out that wait, it's a big deal. I got a caller here online. I want to bring them in a second. But that is something that everybody, especially in government or private sector, where it's sometimes less discretion given to the employee and everything, it's really a hassle. So in that sense, this is really a wonderful thing.
And I just want to add to that, as far as we also provide variety. I've worked a job before where I had to stand with the okay sandwiches, but because they were there in proximity, I ate the okay sandwiches. And a lot of people have that job where the closest I can go is the place right across the street that they're doing their best, but that's it. I want variety.
Yeah.
And so we just provide variety also for the people who are stuck at a job. I mean, I was a teacher for 15 years, and I had one job where we couldn't move. There was nothing around us, and they had these sandwiches that had no condiments on it, some olives, and the driest tuna in the world. But that driest tuna, that was my lifeline. I ate that every single day. Like, oh my gosh, I guess this is it.
One more of the things that teachers have to go through. Yes. But now, you said you got how many businesses working with you that sell food?
Right now we have 12, but we have also people that partner with us that aren't on yet.
Right. No. But that's 12.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot. Okay? From my perspective, that's a lot. Okay? So now, I learned the hard way that you shouldn't call names unless you got a list and you're going to leave out somebody. But I'm going to put you on the spot. I want you to call some of them names, because these people going out there looking for food when the food could come looking for them.
Yep.
And so that 12 is important. Also, as an incentive to the other 8 to hurry up and get on board, and the other 20 that say, yeah, I need to be in on that too. All right? So if you could talk a little bit of, just give us a little idea. If you got all 12, I'll take all 12.
And then before this, I just want to say a lot of this started with the connections my brother had in the partnership. We get to that later on, but we definitely have to start with our beginning, our beta testing restaurants, where shout out to Veronica at Napoleon's, Stumpy at 2+2, that gave two guys a chance where something foreign concept that's coming to this island. They say, like, we're going to give you a shot.
All right. Good thing. That's what I want to hear. It's community. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yes.
Okay, you got it.
And then we want to just bounce back.
Yeah, because we hope we don't forget anybody.
Yeah, and we got to give them. Can we give them a shine when we talk about the restaurants?
You got it.
All right. I gotta say Eden and Princess.
Uh-huh.
Eden and Princess, the love that you feel when you come into the vegan spot. All right. And I don't care if you're vegan or not. Their food is so delicious. Like, I had a tofu roti there one time, and I was like, I didn't know I needed this in my life. And just the love that they bring, they cook with love. Like, you come in, all right, you got Karu, Yara, and their whole family is there working, but you come in and you just feel the love, and then you eat the love. And they're an amazing restaurant, Eden.
Definitely, I'll bounce and say Limeview, one of my faves. I actually put them out, unlike rating restaurants, but Limeview definitely is in my top 5 of local food restaurants. Shout out to Eureka and them over at Limeview. If you haven't gone over there, definitely stop by. Great food.
And then I also want to give shout out to Duties down by Oriental Bank.
Uh-huh.
Young owner. Like, when you talk about people coming back, I think she's 22, 23. Sorry for shouting out your name, Judy.
No, in the name, it's the age.
Yeah. She owns the restaurant, and she knew the vision. Like, when she saw, she's like, let's do it. And she works the business in such a way where she knows social media. She knows that her business gets to scale, and now people are welcomed into her food. And she's so consistent. She's an amazing young lady as far as who's taken restaurant ownership and said, I'm going to put this on my back at such a young age, and we're going to get this done. Amazing restaurant down by Oriental Back, Duties, and I'm apologize for not saying, I think that's, everybody says it differently when they pronounce it on the app. What is this? Duties down there in, by Oriental Bank.
Definitely. And then to say it, we got to go to the next one. Fat Boys, Nadir.
Yes.
Amazing. Just even their staff, shout out to Carmen, shout out to Patsy. Hopefully we're not leaving anyone out, but definitely, like, if you've gone to Fat Boys, they have probably one of the fastest turnaround times. And turnaround times in delivery is great, because that means we could get your delivery in under an hour. So, and the quality of food is great. So shout out to Fat Boy, shout out to Nadir and his team.
Definitely. And then we guys give a shout out to Charles Meriday. And Charles Meriday is a chef here who's a restaurant owner for several restaurants. And he's been super supportive, where he's like, okay, we're going to put Parrotfish on. Parrotfish, if someone is not going to Parrotfish has these tuna nachos chunks of tuna, nachos that are amazing, and you should just order for them just based on that. So Parrotfish down in Christiansted. Then the Galleon just came on board also. The Galleon, amazing food if you ever want to go in person, but order at home because you want something to come to your house. The food travels well, and it's an amazing restaurant there. Charles Merriday, I've known Charles since I was a teenager, and when I grown up, you need mentors in life. Charles, amazing. He bigged me up.
If I don't say this next restaurant, my girlfriend will definitely try to choke me out. But definitely Fresh Juice Bar. Definitely Fresh Juice Bar came on. And it's crazy to think when having a smoothie juice bar on delivery and see how well smoothies travel. And you're like, I don't know if people are going to order it. You could test the quality of someone's business by people that order. And people order for smoothies, acai bowls, juices. And it amazes me all the time, and people love it, and it holds up really well.
Yes.
So shout out to Fresh Juice Bar.
Definitely.
And her name's Marisha Busher.
We also have Louis Nachos and Turtles Deli in West. Again, great ownership. They came on board. One of the best conversations we had as far as people coming on board, because he'd used in his businesses before, I forget in the States, I want to say Chicago, he'd used food delivery, and he said his experience in the States said, look, we can scale with this, and if we do it right social media wise, we can be successful. Turtles Deli's got amazing sandwiches, and I'm a sandwich person, love sandwiches. Turtles Deli sandwiches rank up there. And then you have Louis Nachos. Louis Nachos is, again, well-oiled machine. You're going to get your food fast, and you're going to get your food fresh. So again, please give those two restaurants a nod when you order.
Okay.
Definitely. And if you don't know about this next one, Crab Queen, I promise you, Crab Queen, Rochelle, shout out to you guys over there. If you don't go there, if you haven't gone there yet, I live by their loaded fries. You cannot go wrong. They were in the Village this year. Check out Crab Queen. Definitely on the app. Go in person. Shout out to them.
Again, great ownership there. Rochelle, she runs a tight ship, and it's great quality food, and she's so imaginative with her menu. Another person I want to give a shout out is Joey at Asado. Again, people in the community giving you an assist and saying, look, I'll be supportive. What do you need? His business, Ebog, also does a lot of apparel as far as cards, business cards, and rack cards. But Joey, shout out to Joey Nevis. Again, just giving people an opportunity, and sometimes that's all you need. So shout out to Asado, shout out to Joey Nevis.
I want to say we got beach blends. Yo, shout out to Jack Butt. Jack Butt was actually the first person to order on our app. Like, I remember like it was yesterday. It was the craziest thing. We were the most surprised people. Like, someone really ordered. They downloaded the app. So shout out to Jack Butt and Beach Blends. And I mean, over in Gallows Bay, makes, again, smoothies, juices, drinks. Stop by.
Yes, and definitely. I want to give another shout out to Jack. Jack, everybody's delivered to Jack at least once. So again, when customers become clients, partners, it's awesome. Common Sense, not to be confused with Common Sense in Town, which we would love to have you on the app, but Common Sense is a food truck that operates out of Levels on Thursday nights. Her vegan tacos, amazing. I know vegans are like, yeah, what do you say like that? I'm not a vegan, I promise you. Her tacos, I would drive, all right, maybe not drive, I would take a boat from Puerto Rico to get her tacos. They are good for 2 days. It's one of the most filling meals, but again, also really rewarding. But she's amazing. Naomi Brown. Yeah, great ownership. And again, I don't know if you don't see the trend that's going here, but great ownership makes for a great partnership. As long as you have good chain of command, and you say, okay, this is what's going to happen. Chain of commands make for good partnerships, and Naomi Brown is a great partner.
This is where it gets real sticky for me. Pressure's on me. Were we missing anyone?
If we come back to you, we'll come back. I'm going to make sure you guys don't have nobody rotting you up.
Definitely.
I feel like we got everybody. That's live right now.
I think
Okay,
so.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, good thing. Well, folks, Boomerang Eats, you can go to their website, boomerangeats.com, and the buttons are right there for Google Play and App Store. You can download the app and put it on your phone and be good to go. But just in case you're tuning in and you want to know, well, why they're talking about all of these different restaurants, Boomerang Eats will bring the food to you. No more of this thing you being on a job and in a meeting or whatever, and you need to eat and you don't have time to run out and do something. You're under pressure for a deadline to get something done. Hey, just go to the app, contact these folks, and the food will come to you. Now, the one thing, of course, you know is that you can't call 11 o'clock for 11 o'clock delivery, you know?
Yes.
And that's not them. That's the people who make the food, because they got to put it together. Unless, you know them that they have a buffet of everything ready to go. That's a different story. But even so, now for now, isn't the smartest way to go if you want to keep things under control down there in that stomach of yours. Well, I am so glad that you guys had this encounter with Jared. Okay? Because this is part of the how the world is changing, and St. Croix / the Virgin Islands is a part of the world sometimes, when we get out there between Juve and whatever, we may forget that, but we are part of the world, and in that context, this is something that's different, and people need to know about it, okay? All right. So let me ask you this about your website. That list you just went down, that's accessible on the website?
On the app.
On the app. Okay. Well, I will ask you to put it on the website, because the reason why I'm saying that is that a lot of people who just investigating, seeing what's going on, when they see their restaurant on there, they're ready to go. Okay. And a lot of folks will use that as how to make the jump, but equally important, I want to emphasize that these guys went out of their way, okay? Not really out of their way. I put it that way in the sense that Gerard stopped and sat down and talked with these guys. Some people like they thin skin, they this, they that, they feel like it's a criticism. No, these guys just embrace Gerard. He could have always said, I holding me too tight or whatever, but no, these guys just embrace Gerard and say, yeah, our app can be better. Thank you for bringing this to our attention, and we're going to jump right on it. And that's just great about customer service. Customer service. So folks, you gotta know that Boomerang Eats is out there for the community, and you need that food at a time that's convenient for you. Then you might want to check out their app and check out their service. Okay? Great thing. Gentlemen, I look forward to hearing from you guys and what's going on, and who knows, maybe one of these days here at WSTX we'll do a show test and call, and you guys can deliver for us, okay? In that context, yeah. But unless you do breakfast?
We're actually about to open up for breakfast, actually.
Okay.
So
Fantastic, because sometimes it's like the hustle to get in here. You might get lucky and get the bush tea.
And I don't know if we can talk about just some of the prospects of restaurants that we've already had discussion that we're trying to bring on the app.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to give a shout out to Spicy Grill. We've had conversations with Spicy Grill, Doughboys. What's the Caribbean Flavors?
Caribbean Flavors.
Mm-hmm. Twin City is coming on the app soon too. We're saying really soon, and they're a great breakfast option. What's another one? Raw, the sushi place down in Christiansted. I think it's the only in brick and mortar sushi place on the island right now.
I want to say yes to that. Yeah.
Yep. We have Sandcastle. Sandcastle's down in Frederiksted. They're going to be coming on hopefully
We got
soon.
The Mill.
The Mill, Toast. So Mutiny.
Yeah.
So we got a couple places that X marks the spot.
Can't forget them. As a classmates, can't forget them.
So we got a couple places that we've already engaged in conversations, and it's really just the paperwork that we're finishing up, or just make sure that the quality control that they come on correctly. But there's a lot of great places out there that we just want to make sure that people have access to, and people can, our love language is food in the Virgin Islands, and we express ourselves through food, and we enjoy. Some people like eat to live or live to eat. We live to eat, and that's okay too. People might tell you it's wrong. No, it's okay to live to eat.
All things in moderation.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. The one thing I wanted to know is that the doors at WSTX are open not only by you coming in, but phone or maybe even video conference, because you got folks coming on, and I want to WSTX to be the great place where we're going to have the great announcement. It's like every time a set of new businesses come on, it's going to be like cutting a new ribbon or breaking ground or whatever the case you want to be, but it's going to happen here at WSTX. I want you to know that the doors are open to do that kind of thing.
Okay. Again, we appreciate the opportunity. Appreciate the opportunity just to hear us out and again, to make the app better. We are never above making the app better or hearing critiques say, hey, can you do this? Not always things that can happen as fast as because we're a small business and budgets come into play, but when it's on our radar, it's on our radar to get it done as fast as we can.
Yeah.
And just to add to that too, just know when being a Virgin Islander helps tremendously when bringing tech to the Virgin Islands. Because trying to bring a model like Uber Eats to St. Croix, you need a totally different set of features just because we have a totally different set of problems, such as, inventory, WAPA, power could go out. The internet connection in some restaurants aren't always the best. We're not blaming it on anyone. We're just saying these are regular things that a restaurant goes through on a daily basis. So when building an app or building a company that's going to be stationed in the Virgin Islands to serve Virgin Islands people, it's understanding the culture that we live in and integrating features to help restaurants versus saying, hey, this is our structure, get with it, or, move on to the next restaurant.
Yep. And having empathy where no one wakes up in the morning saying, we want to ruin your food. No one says that.
True.
And we just want to make sure that we bring the food people love to them. And as long as we're giving thank yous out, you have to thank the community. You thank the community of restaurants, business, small business owners. You have to thank the community and our drivers. We have amazing drivers that deliver your food. When you see them, thank them. And we thank you for the business, but amazing drivers. We have an amazing team of drivers. Also the community that have supported us. Happy birthday to Brittany Dawson. Happy belated birthday. Again, we have some customers that we don't know personally, but we feel that we do. Some people we do know personally, but they become family. So thank you to the community. Thank you to the governor. Governor, after we won the startup battle, and thank you to Alan.
Definitely.
Thank you to Alan. Thank you, Alan Nance, who's our investor after the startup battle. But thank you to the governor. Governor, he messaged us, and that for me meant a lot. That was a big moment in our life that he took the time to say, hey, your dad would be proud. Congratulations. And I love that in the community. You don't get that in the States all the time. It's too big. So you get nurtured by the community here. And when you get nurtured, you got to give back. So anybody who's a small business owner who wants to start up one, we're open to questions. I'm not saying that we aren't busy people. We're open to questions because we got to pay it forward. Someone gave us such an opportunity, and someone nurtured us as plants. We want to nurture other plants coming up in the community.
All right. Okay, folks, you hear it all here. Yeah, I'm not going to choke up and start to, get teary-eyed and everything else. But hey, it's great to hear this stuff. It's just fantastic to hear this stuff because so many of the good stories on St. Croix. All you need is one bad thing happening for 6 weeks and then they're up in your face. And there's so much good stuff going on. And that's why we call it reflections. We got to look in the community mirror and we got to look closely and look around. Don't just look with the jaded eyes of, well, the last thing you heard on a talk show. But at least every other talk show. Okay, this one is an exception. Anyhow, but I'm so glad that you guys came in here. I'm looking to hear more about the progression of your business and the service to the community, because your business is service oriented in that context, and I don't want to underemphasize that, because just by what you're doing, you're giving back. Just for all of those people who stood up in line and missed their lunchtime. Okay, and supervisor watching them with a cut eye. It's like, it ain't my fault, I did my best, So you continue on what you're doing, and we're looking forward to hearing good things and more things and all about the new businesses that come online, because this is how you do it.
Thank you.
All right?
Thank you.
Good thing. Well, I give you guys the I know you got a job to run, a business to run, okay? I mean, 'cause we could stay here. I tell you already, Doug could run his mouth. Okay? You've been here all morning. I was hoping that Gerard would have made it here. But, you know, there are lots of services that are needed here in the Virgin Islands and should be here in the Virgin Islands. And his challenge is that since I won't give him my car keys, okay, you have to rely on Vichan Plus. Well, I will beg for them a little bit this morning because the vehicle broke down, but at the same time, I'll keep the pressure on because whether it is them, WAPA, or whoever else, if you need 2 vehicles, make sure you got 3. Come on, go broke down. That's the way it is. If all you working is just enough, okay, just enough gonna broke down. I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, I remember years ago, the hospital for dialysis, they got a water purification machine. They had 2 of them, and one was broken down for 2 years. And when you think happened, the next one broke down. Okay, all right. It's you know, you got to plan to grow, or you're planning to die. And I like what you guys doing. You got great plans for great growth for here in the Virgin Islands. And anybody doing business out there, you can't do it just enough. You gotta have a backup plan. You gotta have a backup plan. And that includes you guys who decide the monies and the buses and all this other stuff for Vichan Plus, because you know the people beat up on the organization, but they don't make their budget. I mean, they'll make the budget, but somebody got to honor it and deliver in that context, right? Yeah. And speaking in terms of from Gerard's perspective, you know, as a community, we are digging out and have come a long way from this thing about when a person with disability goes out and tries to do things, it's like, well, you don't just keep them at home. This, that, and the other. You know, that it's really been historically kind of hostile, okay, in that sense. So I love the way you guys step right up and say, hey, man, how can we make it better? And you jump right in and made it happen. Now, if we could get the sidewalks to happen as fast as you guys can move, okay? The ones with ramps so you could get on and they don't put the street lamps in the middle of the sidewalk so a wheelchair can't even use the sidewalk, you know? And I'm saying that not you know, kind of making kind of throwing barbs, but as maybe an incentive, you know, that somebody gonna say we can do better, and you guys are part of the doing better. And if this is how it have to happen, and a new generation stepping up to the plate, well then let the games begin. Okay.
Shout out to Gerard, because again, everything you say, I co-sign and we co-sign. Like, just we're in this world together. Like, lead with love, and I think that this makes you know to guide your business. And he pointed something out, and you gotta say, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So he said it. And he was like, wow, we're like, that makes sense. And shout out to him. And I want this conversation to keep on going on. I don't want to do a radio show and then to talk to him. How do we make it better? And just be patient with us. Like, when we say we're going to do something, we're going to do something. Again, budgetary constraints happen when we have a roadmap, but we want to do better. And just let Gerard know this has got to be an ongoing conversation. This can't be one and done.
All right.
Definitely. Can I add to that too? I want to thank Gerard, because, you know, we like to think, you know, as we think of everything, we try to hit everyone's needs, and bringing, you know, a perspective from the visually impaired, like, that's something I never even thought about. Like, I don't know about you, Kyle, but that's something, just because we've never lived that life, and I don't interact with anyone that's visually impaired on a daily basis, so I would never even think of their struggle. I've never even, till this point, I was like, wow, like, going on Facebook for someone that's visually impaired, like, I never would have ever thought that way. So him bringing it to us, you know, helps us shine a light, and shines a light on other things that we'll be like, listen, oh, the visually impaired, what about this group, you know what I mean? What about that group? So it just helps us broaden our perspective, and it only helps us make the business better.
And when you said that, like, my mind was blown the first time we had that conversation. I was like, oh my God, what have we done? And it went down a rabbit hole. I was like, who else can't access? Like, but that's the beauty of it. Like you said, like, we get into our own world, and small business owners are in their own world of trying to solve the things that are in their face or they know, but not really. If you don't speak to other people, you have no idea to reach further than what you know, and then you're like, wow, I'm better for it. But you can't be combative to it. Like, we all play a role in this world, and shout out to Gerard. Like, that's huge for us.
Yep. Well, you know, the next thing I'm hoping is that I can see more interaction with him in the schools. At one point in time, a sad story, I call it sad, that he was supposed to go to a school to talk to the class, and he never got there because the person in the school didn't think that there was anything of value that the children could learn from him coming there. And I won't call out the school and won't call out the teacher. It's sad, you know, but when you were saying that you didn't know, that's normal. That's normal. Jared is a walking source of education. Okay, you know, a lot of people have stereotypes. You know, they look at let's say you got the musicians that were blind, and in their mind, you know, this guy, you know, have his hand on somebody's shoulder, and that person will be leading him around. You know, Jared is a walkabout up and down the street, and he know how to move from here to New York and other places. And as such, we're the ones that put the limitations on our minds. In that sense, and so he's a great asset to the community in that sense, that to help people to take off that cloak, to take off those glasses that don't have no lens in them, you know, and see what the world is really all about for everybody else, because they're part of the community too, and you embrace them. And I hope that this is an example and an inspiration to other folks out there to jump on board and know that the Gerards of the world also got money to spend, and hey, they could buy my stuff too.
My wife has been a special educator for 20 years, and when I told her, she slapped me in the head. She's like, really, Kyle? I was like, just never thought about it. Yeah, but it's that differentiation. It's
I love it. You know, and it's just one of those things. It was a light slap, I'm sure. You know, because it's one of those things. Don't be telling you about all But anyhow, no, it's just like that. It's a human thing. We kind of know based on the circles that we're in. You know, and so we get insulated and we assume that the world is just like our bubble. And as we mentioned, and I'll talk about Facebook for a second, because Facebook is full of bubbles, in that people believe that just because you post something, everybody that's your friend sees it, and that's not how it works. Okay, the way it works is that if everybody in the world who was on Facebook had 2,000 friends and posted a message and it went to all 2,000 friends, Facebook would freeze because of the amount of data would have to move to do that. So what Facebook does is it slows things down, and it picks a few that it will let go around from this person and that person and the other person. So something that's important may not really get around until after, like something with a deadline, until after the fact. Unless, of course, you pay Google.
Yeah.
Pay Facebook to put it on there in that sense, in that context. Fine, they're a business, but we need to understand, because I do a community calendar on this station, and what happens is that I'm finding out about things that happened yesterday or 2 days ago, so I can't talk about it. It's gone, and so we have to understand the limitations of the Facebook. You got to understand the importance of old-fashioned technology like radio, that now is like hybrid, because we're streaming live. Everybody can watch it live on WSTX's Facebook page and YouTube page and all this other good stuff. And so we got to bring the best of everything together to get the word out. And that's why I made a suggestion about the website. Because when people see my store, I love that food. I mean, next thing I know, we're gonna be able to order from the Kalaluma and this line, you know, and get, you know, all of that good stuff through Boomerang Eats. I hope it can happen. You know, we all have to be able to and exercise the ability to dream. Yes, okay, that's it. But your dreams do come true. In that context, it just takes some work.
Definitely.
Yes.
And you know what? We did shout out the nuances that restaurants face as far as, internet connectivity, power, so forth. But shout out to the Vias, the Broadbands, or the Liberty, the WAPA, because those employees order on Boomerang Eats too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they do a great job.
Mm-hmm.
So when we do say that, it's not a taking shots. We're just calling out the nuances that restaurants face that we now have to make sure we build into the technology.
Okay.
And again, just highlighting that no one, again, I don't know, maybe there's some true villains out there in the world, but no one wakes up trying to do a job that makes you sad. Like, it just doesn't happen. And things happen. And there's nuances to everybody's profession that the outside world will never see that bring challenges on. And so it's really just trying to have empathy. And on the other side, people have empathy with a customer.
Okay. Well, let me throw this out to you. The DV has opened back up in a limited kind of way, and they've taken some heat because lack of restaurants or lack of food, this, that, and the other, whatever. So maybe if you haven't talked with those guys already, then and if they got the proper internet service and whatever, they might just want to say that, hey, you can come and stay here. We don't have a restaurant, and people will say, well, I want to come someplace where I gotta go so many miles to eat. I mean, it's a prime opportunity in that context.
We went last week.
All right.
Was
Okay.
welcomed with open arms. They took our ride cards, put in the rooms. Open arms. They were
Fantastic,
great.
fantastic.
And I did a delivery out there too.
Yeah. Okay.
It was definitely a great drive.
All
But
right.
it was definitely, the pizza was still hot when it got out there. That's
Okay.
the difference where you hear a lot of our customers, they get happy because the food is still hot. We still have warmer bags that the drivers have that they put the food into. So that was cool to see.
Money.
The man of the hour.
I hear you talking about him.
All right, okay, just keep that stick over there, all right? Come over here to your left here, got chair here, just pull on up. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, Jared in the house. Okay, good thing, good thing. Let me
Sure.
right here.
Here?
Yep.
So you put me on punishment, Carly?
No, man, no. Nothing like that. You just have a seat, make yourself comfy, and let me get you in the picture here a little bit better in that context.
If they might be looking for me.
You sure now? I don't, whatever it is, y'all know he did it. I have nothing to do with it.
Really? So you tell me to do it?
Okay? I told you to do it.
Yeah. Remember I can't say it, so I gotta use directions or somebody.
Oh, okay. All right. Whatever you say, I work with you, okay? All right, good thing. So,
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, brother.
All right. Jared, the man, the inspiration, the man that saved my life at least 2 times, okay? And the other times he tell me about you. Maybe 3 times, okay? One night I was taking him home. He said, man, just give me the keys and let me drive home, and you ain't got to make that long trip down west and whatever, so forth and so on. Me and my hard self, So anyhow, it turned out that I'm coming up the road from Freddie said after dropping him home. And I see this little flash inside of my eyes. And next thing I know, there's this big calamity accident. Has run out in the road and nearly take me out in the process, okay? And he always did a run into me if he said, if you give me the keys. All right, good thing.
Well,
good
I am
thing.
a licensed driver.
Okay, all right. I hear you. But it's just one of those things. Anyhow, I have to get that trust level up. We good, but I know that we that good. Anyhow, I can see the car going down the road and the cane ticking going down the road. Anyhow.
I'll have a camera in the window. Be my eyes.
Okay, for Be My Eyes, all
Yeah,
right.
they're telling me where to go.
Okay.
Turn there, stop here.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and like you mentioned, Be My Eyes, it's just things you need to know in terms of technology, folks. There's an app called Be My Eyes. Jared could go to Wisconsin when he ain't know where he going, and he could just go on there, and there's people there that will be able to be my eyes to just, in a sense, video conference with him and tell him, okay, this is what you're at, this is what's in front of you, this is left or right, whatever, and help him to navigate where he needs to go. So we didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, in that sense, he's walking education, as I have to put it, because there's always something new that he's just there to say, hey folks, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. All right. Well, gentlemen, I don't keep you here almost all morning, running my mouth and holding myself back a little bit so you could run yours, you know. But it's been good.
Thank you.
It's been really good.
Thank you guys for coming. Hey, you gotta think about this. Boomerang lift.
Boomerang lift.
Yeah. So when
That's-
the boss leaves, I go.
As soon as it's allowed.
All right. Good
This
to
is ridiculous.
Well, hey, you know, you hear me? I put in my plug there, right? I put in my plug because they gotta understand this is real people we talking about, and this comes back to the thing about whether you're gonna budget for just enough, or budget so you're gonna have a vehicle. You know, when I was at WAPA, one of the things that I watched happening is that we got these linemen, fantastic guys, do great work, okay? But you got a truckload of linemen who can't go out because their truck broke down. Now, if you had a need for 3 vehicles and you had 4, you know, you could routinely call in a vehicle for periodic maintenance and put the other vehicle out there. That when the maintenance done the other one, you bring in another one and have another vehicle, and that way you could keep those linemen out there doing what needs to be done in a timely manner for the community. But that's proactive thinking, you know, proactive thinking in that sense, and willingness to commit the resources. There's some things you can't afford not to do. It'll always come back to bite you.
I'll say one thing more.
Mm-hmm.
When a person gets complacent in their job, it's time for them to go.
Uh-huh. All right.
So,
Sound like another conversation we have to have.
if the governor and his people listening,
Uh-huh.
they need to shake up from the top down.
All right. Okay. All right. You heard it here first.
They're too long.
You heard it here first. Well, you know, I don't know about too long, because Jared, the next thing I'll probably start saying is that all the old people should just go home. You know.
No, they need to fling them down the road here.
Anyhow, I hear you. I hear you.
Because the problem is start from the top.
Okay. All right.
Is
Well,
it right or no?
I understand. We talked about that because Vitran Plus can't change their budget. You know what I'm saying? They can't change their budget. They don't control that. But it's great that you're doing what you're doing, because it's not bashing as much so as it's being it's advocacy. And advocacy is needed because, especially for persons with disabilities, for a lot of folks it's just out of sight and out of mind.
Yeah, because
Okay.
look at this here. If I was going on the clock to get paid, I'll get that a whole hour.
Thanks for telling me. Let me check the time sheet. Anyhow, gentlemen, I'm going to give you guys the last word because we coming up. I know you may not have thought you're going to be in here this long this morning, but hey, it was too good to not talk about. Okay?
We're just honored to be here. Thank you very much. Again, Boomerang Eats. We just want to deliver the food you love. All right? That's it. And love alone.
Definitely, and I want to thank everyone who's supported Boomerang Eats, from the customers, the restaurants, the drivers, you know, people who've just mentioned it to somebody. Like, we literally love you guys. Like, this is literally a concept that came out of our heads that it took us about 2 years to get off the ground, and every time we see someone order, it's like us saying, yo, wow, like if we would go deliver the food ourselves.
Yes.
Every time. So thank you, and you know, we welcome everyone else who's about to download the app after hearing this radio show.
And also all the influencers. Thank you very much. Westgate, thank you so much. Thank you for all the influencers that have given a shout out over social media. Happy birthday again, Brittany Dawson.
All right, fantastic. Folks, hey, the good food is no further away than an app on your phone. All right? And these guys put their reputation on the line And if they mess up, they coming back double hard to make sure that it's even better with something good for you to say thank you for your patience in our growth. Support them. Alright? It's your own. Support your own. Alright?
And I'm looking forward for the accessible version.
Definitely.
You see, this guy want everything, you know. He want everything.
What you, bro?
Nobody right though, you know what I mean? No, when you brought it.
Food too?
No, but I'm just saying, you want everything. But it's like everybody else. You want everything. You're just another person like everybody else. That's it.
What's your favorite meal? What's your favorite
I mean,
meal? Your go-to meal?
I ain't gonna give you my keys, but
My favorite meal?
Your favorite meal, go-to meal.
Let's see. I like the seafood pizza from Napoleon's. I like the salmon from that restaurant.
Lineview?
Lineview, yeah.
Right. It seems like you'll be ordering an app already. Yes.
no, you don't get that wrong.
I order on the bus.
Okay, you don't get that wrong. You don't get that wrong. Okay, so I want to give a shout out to the drivers at Vitron Plus that are doing their best. And you know, in that context, and the people who maintain those vehicles, and I hope that you're getting everything that you need, including hopefully after this conversation a couple more vehicles so that we can do maintenance on a kind of rotating basis. All right, and it's lots to do, lots to improve on, and you guys have stepped in and said, hey, we recognize one of those areas, and here we are, we're doing it for you. All right, Boomerang Eats, folks, Boomerang Eats. So when you need to get that meal at your job without you going out and using your whole lunch hour, just know there's an app for that. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Good
You
thing.
bringing angels yet?
No, not yet, but definitely have talked to Angels. We just have to actually go back down and take another visit.
You got some wicked roti on Friday.
Yep, they're roti on Fridays. I like for some on salad, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's good too.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to know that Zaid is a food savant. He will tell you the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich in the rainforest. He knows where every food restaurant is.
All
That's like
right.
my barber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just called him up. Hey, dude, what's that place that he's like? Don't go here, but go. The food over here is nice and fun.
It-
So you got a restaurant directory?
Exactly.
It's the truth, depending on what you want, how you want it cooked. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Every restaurant does it different.
Yeah.
All right.
We get high off our own supply.
Good thing, folks. Only at WSTX, my son. All right. Good thing. Good thing.
Thank
All
you.
right.
All right.
And don't forget when you're gonna have that next announcement about the new crew on board, the new set of restaurants on board. Keep us in mind, whether it's by phone or by person. We want to know.
Definitely.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Good thing.